get rid of the fucking shitty front end.
We're not removing
and the
anything.
podcast
It's all
starts with
staying in.
T6 saying, "Just get rid of the shitty front end." I think that's
Yeah.
that's as good of
It's
a
not gonna
start
be-
as possible. So,
Perfect.
Not going to be any editing.
welcome
Okay,
to
so
the
what-
to the first ever. Well, probably not first ever, but the first ever of this one, Equestria Daily Podcast. We have a few guests. We've got User, we've got Cyanide Serenade, we've got UltimateAI, we've got myself, NGnir, we've got my fellow host, Sponeoupartan, Sky, and last but not least, T6.
That was complete shit. You didn't even let them talk about themselves.
Okay, you do
no,
it.
we're doing that next.
Let me do it.
Yeah,
No, we don't have to do it.
people
I'm
need to
recording
know
it.
who's
I'm not
actually
editing. I'm not editing a damn thing. It's all staying in.
Professionals at work, right
Fuck,
here.
we're doing it live.
All right. So going down the list from the top, User, introduce yourself.
Well, my name is User. I've had this name for a really, really, really long time. I'm a community administrator for Equestria Daily, as well as a public relations liaison of sorts between the user base and the blog pony. I go to conventions and do some press stuff as well as moderate and admin the Discord. And Trixie.
And Trixie.
I do things with her as well.
I don't really think that qualifies, but all right.
you do things with Trixie.
I was going to
It
ask you like
does.
the next. That was good. Like, what's your favorite pony?
Yeah, that was going to be the next question. If people don't know this, I'm pretty sure they've been living under a rock, but yeah, we'll ask you anyway.
Let's say.
That can be a very challenging question for most people.
For
But
most people.
her name is Trix, and she wears wizard hat and cape.
I don't think her name is Trix. I thought it was Trixie.
Well, it means the same thing.
Why is she one of the few ponies to wear clothing? Is she like really self-conscious about her appearance?
In
Yeah,
front of a large audience, yes.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Understand.
She has to have stage presence.
All right.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you mentioned it or not. I didn't catch it, but what time did you join the fandom at?
2012.
Jesus Christ. All right.
I originally joined the fandom playing Team Fortress 2 when I found the Pony Fortress 2 server, and then that server eventually died. And eventually I came on to EQD.
Way the fuck back. Very nice.
I know, right?
All right.
Hardcore.
So, going back down the list, Cyan, I think it's your turn. Introduce
Yeah.
yourself.
I'm Fang Alchemist, but most of you know me by Cyanide Serenade or just Cyan. I am the bat zebra of the mod team because I like to be the awkward duckling who is not normal.
I can
Tell
Tell me about it.
Let's see. I think, well, me joining the fandom was a funny story. It was actually before I moved to a new house, and we had just gotten cable box, and so I was just flipping through channels what the hell's on, because at the time nothing was on. And then I just see the show. I'm like, you know what? This is bright. This is colorful. I'll give this one episode. A full season later, I'm just sitting there this is amazing.
Did you know nothing of the fandom when you first started watching the episode?
You knew nothing about the show or anything. You just sat
No,
down
I knew
and saw
nothing.
it.
I went completely blind. I'm like, you know what? I saw it the first time on the HUD. I'm just like, you know what? I'll give this a shot. And then I just get fully absorbed. I'm like, this is so brilliant and colorful. And I just want to move to this pastel world.
What season was this?
Season 1, actually.
Oh, all the way back then. Fair enough. So,
But just say,
Yeah, more than
I
that.
got this right on the start of the series.
how did you find the fandom? Did you just go on the internet and just go, I wonder if anyone's as mentally challenged as I am? And then,
I wonder if anyone's as disabled as I am, loving this colorful world. And the first episode I saw was actually the first one, oddly enough, on the hub. So I'm just like, okay, so I'm going in literally season 1, episode 1. Where am I going with this?
no.
And all of a sudden, I find myself a full season in and not wanting to leave.
Before you know it, you're watching season 8 in.
Yeah. Before I know it, I'm watching season 8 with friends who are just as disabled as me.
All right, and then I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but your favorite pony.
if we're going main 6, I have to say Rarity.
All right, get out. You're not invited anymore.
Okay, that's harsh. But it doesn't have to be main 6. Like T6,
I'm
like
not
someone
serious.
who no one ever even heard of.
Fuck you.
Aw, Savage.
Fuck you.
I've always admired Rarity just because she has that kind of eye or the flair for the fashionable and the presence. And I've always been someone who has the similar eye.
Similar
Alright.
eye. Fair enough.
And then if we're going princesses, I have to say Luna, but that's
Of
another
course.
story.
That's
Oh,
what
don't worry.
everyone says.
That's what
Yeah, I'm about to
95% of the population thinks. All right. So going down the list, then we'll go on to AI. AI.
Oh man, oh my. Hello. I am UltimateAI. My OC is Mana Song. Let's see. I joined the fandom in summer 2012. I had known that there were people around my age at the time. I was 17 who were watching this show for some reason, which of course I just wanted to find out why, so I began watching the show from the beginning. I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop smiling, and that's basically it, really. Let's see. So how I got involved in this part of the community with EQD, I suppose that would start in around spring 2015. I started playing Team Fortress 2, and I knew that this Pony Fortress 2 thing that user mentioned existed, so I started playing on their servers a lot. Although the servers would die just a few months later, but most of the members have moved on to this new place called Friendship is Gaming, and that's actually what this Discord server used to be when it was born in August 2015. It wasn't EQD, it was Fig. So I hung around there. Somehow was granted moderatorship of their TF2 server and eventually this Discord server, and then when we merged with EQD, and yeah, that's it.
So you and
I don't know what else to
user
say.
could have been playing TF2 like long ago. You could have been like star-crossed moderators, just waiting to be.
I started playing Team Fortress 2 around 2010 or so, but I only started to play on a regular basis around 2011, 2012. Did a lot of competitive playing as well.
I think it's an important note to make that this server, like, originally as Friendship is Gaming, was made from a TF2 community. Since looking at voice, a lot of people don't seem to know that.
What do you mean?
I've mentioned it a few times in blogs and little
Oh, yeah.
tidbits,
Like I said.
So
including
TF2.
what I gave to Everfree Northwest. I mentioned PF2, I believe.
All right. It looks like we have a new guest that managed to sneak his way in.
Oh boy,
and
it's
now he's
Hound.
back above everyone. So, Hound,
God damn it.
congratulations for joining us a little late.
He's gonna be really loud or really quiet.
No, that's his fault. Blame it on him. Also, people complaining about mic quality. Yeah, sorry. I don't have money to spend on one, and also this is like the very first thing we've done here.
He's just deafened himself. Oh no, he's back. He's back.
God damn it, Hound.
Hound, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself when you joined the fandom? Who your favorite pony is? Let's just start with like. Oh, he's left. Okay, fantastic.
All right. Well, okay. I guess I'll go fuck myself. Okay. Looks like we're going on to NG.
NG, me. Okay, that's not good.
Yeah. Have on. Your turn.
All right, so I joined the fandom back in like season 1, season 2. Hiatus? Don't know how you say that word.
Hiatus. Yeah.
I was on a Gmod server when I was 15 back in 2011, and we got raided by a bunch of bronies, and about half of them stuck around. And then I eventually made friends with them, and they made me watch the show, and I enjoyed it. And then, like, 6, 7 years later, I don't know who any of them are anymore, but I still watch the show, and that's about how it goes. My favourite pony is Pinkie Pie, just because she just wants everyone to be happy, and that's a noble goal in life.
No, I mean, makes sense there. I was going to say back when you said that you watched the show and that you enjoyed it. I was just gonna say, like, what the fuck would happen if you didn't enjoy it? Because I don't expect to see you here.
What do you mean you don't expect to see me here?
Well, I'm just glad that you said you enjoyed the show. Like, I mean, it wasn't too surprising.
I think the first episode I watched was Winter Wrap Up.
That's actually a
Because
pretty good one to start with. All right.
a pretty weird one.
Interesting starting point.
It's such a, yeah, it's just a strange starting point. I don't think
I
hear
almost
very
want
many
to
people
start singing.
It was because I got introduced to it by the Raiders playing it on repeat over microphone. And so eventually I thought, this is a decent song, let's just watch the episode it's from. And then I went back
That's
to
how they
season
hook you
1.
in.
What were they rating again?
Gmod server.
Gmod
Oh,
server.
Gmod. Okay, my
Yeah,
bad.
Trouble in Terrorist Town, if I remember.
Ooh, good times.
Good times indeed, good times indeed. But yeah, I stopped playing about 2 years later. And yeah, that's pretty much my story.
All right.
Spone?
Yeah, I mean, seems pretty normal. All right. My name is Spone, Sponeoupartan, which is impossible to type out if you haven't typed it before. God, I joined later than you guys because apparently everybody in the world joined in 2012, and I just get a feel bad joining in like 2014.
You're not a real.
But,
You're not a real one.
I'm not a real fan, I know. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, I joined. Fuck, I started watching them in order. I don't remember what the first one I saw was, but once I saw one of them, they kind of made me want to watch more, I guess. So I started from the beginning, and I really didn't care for the first season at all, and I was wondering why the fuck people liked it. But then I just kept watching, and I kind of, got more accustomed to it over time. But I definitely probably would not recommend people starting from the first episode if they're trying to convert anyone.
I had a lot of people say that they started watching from the first episode, and then just something sort of clicked on the second episode of the season 1 opener, and then just all of a sudden they
maybe.
just left the show and just kept.
I saw it incredibly cheesy, like the first 2 episodes of the show. It was just really
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah,
to
because
get
it
through.
did have those painful
I-
character introductions.
Once it gets to the laughter song, if they're not used to music in their shows like that, it might be a bit off-putting, but
Yeah,
And
I know,
I
that's
think
it.
a good starting point for a lot of people was actually season 2.
Yeah, I would say season
for
2
some
got
people,
better.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people's favorites were season 2 still is.
But I think some of the best episodes to get people into the show are just the regular slice of life ones.
Oh, and then I should probably mention my favorite pony, if we're talking main 6, would also probably be Pinkie Pie for similar reasons to NG.
Oh, perfect.
However, favorite pony is going to have to be Lyra, because I feel like she's a good representation of the community and why I hang around for the shit that people create.
I forgot to mention mine.
go for it.
Main 6 will probably be, well, definitely be Twilight. But I actually like Twilight, Sunset, and Starlight all of them equally.
All right, you
Twilight,
can't just
Sunset,
throw
and
out like
Starlight.
5 names.
My favorite pony is all of them because I really like the show.
All
Like-
ponies are equal, but some are more equal than others.
Thank you.
True words never spoken.
That's why Starlight's up there for you. I like how you mentioned 3 of the unicorns and just didn't mention Trixie.
I
Like,
The
I like
three with the
those
same
3.
hair color pattern.
Do they?
Uh,
Pretty much. And each one has just a different colored stripe in their hair.
Yeah.
more or
I
less,
guess-
yeah.
I see what you mean. Nah, Sunset doesn't.
No, but yellow and red, bacon horse.
Like,
Bacon, yeah.
okay, well, it's not the. No, yeah, I guess that's what you mean. I guess that's what you mean.
It's not the same, but it is the same.
It's not the same, but it is.
All right.
Spone, what introduced you into the show? Like, what made you first see it?
A long ass time ago, before 2014, one of my friends was like memeing it up about it. He was one of those like fake bronies, I guess, that existed at the time, where he was just doing it to be a fucking meme. And that's how I got introduced to it. By him spouting off random nonsense.
Fair enough. I take it
Yeah.
he isn't one anymore.
No, he never was. Like, I
Never
mean,
was.
if he was, either that or he's really good at hiding it.
Like I'm sure a lot of people are.
I mean, yeah, like it'd be professional levels at this point. All right, so Sky, your turn. Have fun talking.
Oh.
Introduce yourself.
Lovely. Hello there. My name's Skyrazer, and I'm a community moderator, administrator at this rate, and head moderator for the Discord and forums of Equestria Daily. I joined the fandom back in 2012 during the hiatus between Season 2 and Season 3, if I recall correctly. And how did I join the fandom? Well, that's an interesting story. Well, it's a little similar to NGnir's. I was a moderator for a Gary's Mod server, like a community. We had a bunch of servers. And around 2012, a whole bunch of people with pony avatars started showing up. They did their thing. It wasn't a typical raid or anything, but we had a plugin that let you play music in the server, and they would play pony songs. Naturally, a lot of people got rustled over it, but I didn't mind it. Eventually, a lot of them started getting stuck in my head. I started listening to them on my own time and looked up the show itself to see what all the fuss is about. And I saw Lauren Faust's name, and that got me hooked instantly, knowing the woman who created most of my childhood stories created another show. No questions right there.
Don't need to fangasm too hard, Sky.
If I remember correctly, didn't she also do Foster's? I don't remember.
Yes, she did. She did Foster's, she did Powerpuff Girls, she did...
Yeah, she
her
wrote for
husband
them.
did Dexter's Lab.
Ah, that's my childhood.
Did she write for Dexter's Lab?
She did a few guest episodes.
Okay, I know she wrote for Powerpuff Girls and Foster's, but it was her husband that made them.
Yep.
Craig McCracken.
All right, pretty good so far. Sky, also, favorite pony, and please try not to bash too hard on any of the other ones you don't like.
Wow, shots fired.
I must say,
Okay.
as we know, the salty moderator king.
Well, my favorite pony out of the main six is Twilight. Other than that, it is Sunset Shimmer.
Do you have
Okay.
reasoning for that, or is just like you like the color or what?
Yeah.
I love her
like
design.
Satan.
She has a lot of character behind her. She's gone places and done things that many others haven't. She's very relatable in a sense.
I have gone
And
places and
I'm
done
a real
things.
sucker for redeemed villains who actually get a good redemption.
Shots fired.
I mean, it
Shots
wasn't.
fired.
It wasn't. It wasn't really a good redemption. It was just kind of let's just pull you out of this crater, and you're our bestest buddy now. And
NG, you stop right now.
Well,
fired,
I don't
Starlight.
think anyone questions that the main section a little crazy.
yeah.
But the
Yeah.
rest of the
They're
school,
all
I'm pretty sure the
psychopaths
rest
and
of the
their own
school is
friends.
realistic.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll let it go.
All right, I think we're on to our last person then. T6, take it away.
Hey,
Sleepy
it's
bastard.
7:30 a.m. here, and I feel like death. I joined. The fuck did I join the fandom? August 2012. That was it. I think that was in the hiatus between season 2 and 3. I can't remember. But yeah, a friend introduced it to me. He's no longer in the fandom. He was only until like 2013. He wasn't there for long. But yeah, he introduced me to S1E1, the original opener, on a sleepover, and we watched 4 episodes or something in one evening. I can't remember what it exactly was about the show that hooked me. It was just generally like, hey, this is a pretty cool fictional world. Look at these characters doing reasonably mature-ish things for little ponies. Like, prior to this, I had like absolutely no knowledge of MLP FIM. I had absolutely no knowledge of the fandom. The only knowledge I had of MLP at all was like this horrendous point-and-click adventure that my sister had played when she was like 4, and it looked like a war crime for children. Yeah, it kind of put me off anything to do with MLP for a number of years, which is probably why I didn't hear about this until 2 years after it happened. Well, 2 years after it started, rather. But yeah, that's how I got into the show. Around here, resident asshole, probably.
No, that's
I
Sky.
think that's fine. Deputy asshole. Okay.
All right, that's good enough. You can have
Yeah,
that.
so I just recognized you as tank guy.
Tank guy.
Yeah,
Everybody
everybody
the
does.
tank
the-
man.
The war expert.
Yeah,
basically.
fucking, I'm
He's
good.
the war mindster if
Shit,
we ever wage war on the normies.
if you need anything to kill someone, just ask me.
Says a guy living in New Zealand with nothing to kill anyone.
Yeah, who's like about as physically dangerous as a bush.
Hey, he's got some sheep, man. Them sheep are
Yeah,
dangerous.
fucking, I don't know how to fucking treat sheep. Sheep scare me. Fucking square eyeballs. Seriously, they have like square. It's creepy.
How many sheep have you been close to? You just got to a sheep, like just walking along the
not
street,
actually
just
that
grab their
many.
head
Yeah,
and look in
square
their
eyeballs.
eyes.
It just pulls up the eyelid. You're fucking weird.
If that was an attempt at my accent, you get 1 point for trying, but no
I was about
points
to
for
say,
anything
I
else.
was about to say, I'm not good with accents like that.
What was the next thing? Oh yeah,
Last-
favorite pony.
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Fucking, I have no idea for the main six.
I know you know for the main six. Come on.
What, Rainbow Dash? Because she's kind of like the pony I normally like. I
As
don't
much
know.
as I disagree with your choice, yes.
The not arsehole version.
I know you fucking hate her.
They're both similar,
and then, yeah,
but also different.
Actual favorite pony is Lightning Dust, because she has a good design, and there's probably something to be said for sympathizing with other assholes. I don't know, but yeah. Don't ask me to explain.
It's
'cause
very
I can't.
Don't ask me to She's just my favorite pony. I don't need a reason. I just chose
Yeah, no,
it
it's just
and
like
stuck with it.
fucking people I know have observed. Hey, why do you like all the asshole characters? And I'm like,
Because I relate.
no reason. Yeah, no.
Well, it is also 7 in the morning for you, so I'll give you a little bit of a break there. I'm not going to expect you to fucking write up an essay at 7 in the morning on why you like a horse.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it.
I couldn't do it if I was fully lucid.
Well,
anyway.
that's because it was a prerequisite for the joining the podcast. Like, you haven't got
You don't have your
1,000
fucking
words
essay
in my
ready?
DMs before this started. Just leave.
Fucking yeah, I couldn't explain why I like Lightning Dust if I wasn't fucking half asleep.
All right. I think
Yeah,
we got through
no,
all the
yeah.
introductions then.
Yeah, so that's everyone. What do you want to do next? Just talk about
All right.
season 8? Or...
Well, I wanted to like first start off with thoughts about the new. Have watched it because apparently half the people here haven't.
yeah,
I've
for
only
some
seen
reason.
one episode of season 8 so far.
Did you wait? Only one episode? Like you watched the first half of an opening?
No, well, yeah, that's all. I tried to watch all 4 today when I got home, but I only had time for just one.
Oh,
It's good so far though. I'm
it's
loving
good
it.
so far.
I'm loving season 8. I've watched one episode of the fucking half party.
I'm loving all the great characters I've seen in 1 minute.
No, I'm just saying I like where they're taking it.
Yeah, it's a different direction. When I first watched the
I
opener,
also-
I was sorry, carry on.
I also wasn't expecting them to reference the movie at all. Like normally, for most series that I've seen, the movies are usually like considered non-canon because they never refer to it, but they did that here.
And there's
now.
such a disconnect most of the time.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it was good. It was kind of just like they didn't mention it past really the opener. Well, I guess there's like hippogriffs and stuff now, but they were just kind of like, oh yeah, Tempest is out preaching the words of friendship and won't be in the show anymore because the voice actress is too expensive.
I love the
Yeah.
wording you had for that. Hippogriffs are a thing now.
You're fucking walking around with like a book of friendship instead of the Book of Mormon. You have a moment to talk about us. I'm going to save you, Twilight Sparkle.
Did you see that comic of Tempest knocking on Trixie's door? Yeah, that was great.
with Trixie just being like, I've already read it.
The friendship journal that needs to be published. I'd buy that.
Bye.
Flawless was a
Alright.
great episode. No.
User.
The episode was hilarious. It was just like, that's a good slap to the face and satire to fans. It's like, yeah, we can be hard to please sometimes. I know.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about it.
It wasn't like a really aggressive stab either. It kind of was like, we're just kind of joking around, having fun. I don't see the writers wouldn't do anything that malicious about it. They'd be very like passive and not like, oh, we hate you guys for this. They just like to poke fun.
Yeah. And it's always nice to be recognized, anyway.
Yeah. That slice of life episode was such a slap to the face sometimes. I really think that was such a forced episode.
Really, I loved it.
No, don't get me wrong, I loved it. It just felt so forced sometimes. It's like you're shoehorning in so much into one episode.
It was like apparently M.A. Larson has something to do with it as well, but like I really don't.
Oh,
know
hey,
much
Ghost
about it.
joined.
Oh yeah.
Ghost. Oh my god.
Larson has his fingers in everything in this show. They can't do anything without him.
Yeah.
Even memes for the show.
I love that. It's just like this so like, hey, it's Rose and the Doctor. See? Get it, Rose? Yeah.
Oh, hi,
Larson,
Ghost.
we get it. Stop it.
So,
Also,
You know-
hello, Ghost.
Hi.
hey, there we go.
This is the first time I've actually heard you talk.
I've heard him speak a bunch of times, especially
Damn.
considering he's the one who made me a mod.
My secrets are revealed.
Ghost, would you like to introduce yourself?
yeah, like yeah. When did you first join the fandom? Like, what brought you into it? Who's your favorite pony?
Complete silence.
Slight coughing.
Was that just like an
Subtle
open-ended
cough of,
question
"I
or
don't
what?
wanna be here."
Yeah,
it was an
okay.
open question.
I'll say it one at a time. When did you first join the fandom?
Like episode 8 of season 1.
So quite long ago. Okay, fair enough. Like what brought you into it? What made you watch it?
I was watching Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends on YouTube, and it was on the suggested side. It was part 2 of episode 1. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, why not? So I clicked that bitch, and I'm like, it's not bad. Let's see where it goes.
Holy shit, the fucking YouTube recommended section actually doing something good for us.
Right? It's crazy.
Wow,
Subtle
that's
jab.
a fucking miracle. Yeah.
So you're one of
It's not
those.
miracle.
There's actually a surprising amount of people who just saw it on and just thought, you know what, like,
Fuck it.
let's just watch
Yeah,
an
fuck it.
episode and see how it goes, and then they
Yeah,
just
man.
got carried away with it.
Yo, you know episode already came out, right?
But-
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yeah, it came out
So
like
4.
4 hours ago.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
it.
Have you seen it, Ghost? Because like
Nah.
half the people there haven't. Okay, you haven't either.
I guess Yay Ponies has to put it up now. Oh fuck, where's my Yay Ponies RSS feed?
Oh
EA
Jesus! Why?
Ponies needs to update better with other stuff like comics.
Huh?
Yeah, we're getting some random like Discord noises, but let's stop now.
I think it's from Ghost. I think Ghost volume is too loud, so he gets to hear all the joining and leaving.
Oh,
No, it was still passed through my speakers, which was my default.
I thought
Uh,
the
Discord.
sounds were suppressed here.
No, the sound is
No.
suppressed, but when you're in streamer mode, they suppress them.
Oh, okay.
Welcome
Fair.
back, Hound.
Or
Oh,
if
is
you're
that why
in Do
it
Not
is?
Disturb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or do not disturb.
Wait, no, actually, I'm sorry. I don't know. Let's try that.
I think it works. But anyways,
We'll find out.
User, have you seen any of the new stuff?
Yeah, I just finished watching an episode, the latest episode today.
Yeah, you're in the hashtag MLP spoilers, weren't you?
yeah.
We got
Uh.
plenty of new Fluttershy's. I think that was a fantastic episode today.
Oh yeah.
I'm pleased with the direction that the season has taken as well, like other ponies I've mentioned already. Not sure how many more school episodes will we seeing, but I think the school was a really good idea.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad it's not super focused. Like, it felt like it was going to be a massive change of pace from.
You felt like it was
Boring
going
you.
to be an entire like arc kind of change to just focusing nothing on but this school idea.
Yeah, like it felt like a spin off more than anything else.
Yeah,
But then we
it
just
felt
kind of
like
went back to normal.
like a
episode.
tie-in to like Equestria Girls kind of deal, almost.
Yeah, I like to see a few more episodes about the school. I hope it's just not like the premiere and the finale, though. That would be kind of blah.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
really like the new students, so I hope they get shown a bit
The
more.
students are adorable.
Oh yeah, we could. Well, best student.
I was actually impressed that they didn't fuck it up.
Like, what do you mean? What do you think they would have done?
Oh, honestly, I thought they were just shoved in our face, and I'm like, "Hey guys, new toys! Buy them all! Get crazy, kids!
All right,
Go steal
Krusty.
Mama's credit card and go to Hasbro.com."
All right,
Holy
Krusty.
shit, Ghost.
That was loud.
Hey,
First
kids,
off,
Krusty.
I think you deafened fucking everyone.
Fuck.
Oh,
Oh
God.
my god.
Jeez,
There you
jeez.
go.
All right. Is
Is it
Okay.
surprising that I'm used to this?
I don't know.
No,
I mean, you
I'm
probably
used
talked
to
to
what's
Ghost
in my
in this.
Discord. Or not my Discord, my stream chat. Trust me.
Now we need just a recording of him doing that laugh. That's going to be somebody's subscription sound on Twitch.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ, please
Give
no.
me.
I mean,
give
there
me.
was already a someone put a YouTube video somewhere, didn't they?
Huh?
Oh, it is in a YouTube video.
Yeah. I saw someone put
If
that
you
on
feel like
Discord the
digging
other
through
day.
the channels, it's around there.
It's
Yeah,
alright.
it's on my channel.
This is your opportunity for a shameless plug.
Shameless Shameless, quote unquote.
It's like, yeah, it's
I
on my
got a
channel
shameless
where
plug
I
for
do
you,
where I
Michael.
do game reviews and
It's on my channel where I don't do anything.
It's on my
unless I'm
channel.
really stoned.
with like 2 subscribers and a video every half year.
I'm getting a little more back on topic. But
This
like,
is a Roblox server, right?
God damn it, man. Now, what do you guys think of this season compared to like other seasons? Where would you place it?
I've not seen half the fucking seasons properly.
You're
It's
not-
inconclusive
you're not
so
invited.
far.
In
Yeah,
my
I think.
in my unprofessional opinion, I think that season 8 is looking to be the most recent of all the seasons so far.
I'm gonna have to disagree. I don't
No,
see it.
that's bullshit. No,
Yeah, I
this is
don't
not
see
the
it.
most recent season. That's a lie.
Like, do you mean recent as in like a stupid meme, or do you mean recent as in like most up to date, like
God damn it,
animation?
Emma.
I
Most
don't
modern
even know,
eye.
Current
I don't know what
topics.
meme. I don't know what meme you're talking about.
There's no memes here.
There's this
There's
memes
no
are
memes,
bad.
only sadness.
We are completely 100% serious all the
Dear
time.
God.
Kappa.
Everything everyone said. Oh, there we go. Ghost found it. It's in voice.
Wonderful.
I don't remember why I did this, but
So, for like the 2-part opener, like with the school and stuff, would you compare it to the other 2-parters? Kind of where would you put it?
It kind of took me on by surprise because I went in like completely spoilers free. I
Yeah.
Put the phrasing there.
had to
I caught that one.
shut the fuck up.
Oh.
Professionals
Yeah,
at work here.
always serious. Always serious. I had to. It took me like 3 days until I finally made up my mind about it, but it was pretty. Yeah, I ended up liking it. I mean, I've always liked the finales more than the premieres anyway, because they always seem to be more epic, like Pony of Shadows, the whole Twilight's Kingdom turret battle thing. But
They have to wrap up a lot of loose ends in one episode, and it gets a little clustered.
Yeah.
or with finales, you mean?
Yeah.
I think my favorite 2-parter would still has to be the Shining and Cadence one. I don't know why that one stuck with me so
Candlelit
much, but
Wedding, yeah.
yeah.
Your wife doubles as a javelin. Throw it at
That
enemies.
remind me of the scene, if everyone's seen The Incredibles, that scene, Bob, throw me! Bob, throw me!
yeah, but Cadence ain't got the booty like Miss Incredible does.
Oh, I'm sure there's a few people that disagree with that here.
Oh, geez, no,
Damn.
please.
I'm sure you would be one of them.
I
Jesus
can see Shadben in the background grinning.
Let's
Please, no.
Hey, Hound, I think Hound should do an intro too.
is
Yeah,
Hound.
Hound.
Oh, is Hound
yeah,
here
you
to
can,
stay,
you
or is he just gonna just?
I think he was at work before. Oh,
No,
okay,
never
not
mind.
I
Say-
think he's
Oh.
still at work.
Okay.
Aw.
See, he's just
I thought
here
I
to.
heard
Butter
his
was on for
keyboard.
5 minutes. Butter was on for like 5 minutes, saw this was going on, I was like, oh hell no, I'm out of here.
he just took one. Just he
Took
heard
one,
what
looks
was
like,
going on.
"Fuck
Yeah,
that."
just instant no.
I've already pinged Light. Light was here, and then he decided that he had better things to do.
Light yeah, he hasn't seen any of season 8, so he didn't want to join in any
Oh,
conversations like
guess
that.
who else hasn't seen any of season 8?
We're gonna have to remove you from the call now. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
No,
haven't
no, I
really
meant
sent
Sky.
help. They're holding me against my will.
This is the
I
admin
tried
to
to
the
kill them
moms.
though, but they dragged me in here.
You have to stay for at least another 12 minutes or the bomb will go off, Sky.
Shit.
The
I
bomb
left my
will go
bomb
off or the
defusal
alarm will
manual
go
at
off?
home.
Yes.
Cool.
All right. So let's see.
Keep talking and nobody explodes.
Pretty much.
What's that? Everyone should be muted, so we all die.
That's a
Okay.
beautiful
No.
game.
So aside from the two-parters, what are your guys' like hopes for this season? What are you looking forward to?
Lightning Dust. Episode.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say any spoilers or anything, but episode 20. That's. There is a chance.
There's a
okay? There is a
chance.
chance.
You said that last season too.
I've said that every season since 2012.
To be honest, it'll make an interesting episode for like a dynamic with Rainbow Dash.
Yeah.
It's just
She just
'cause
happened-
Rainbow Dash has developed a lot as a character. Also, fuck, I just smacked my microphone.
It feels like sometimes with her, she gets like these steps forward, and then instantly, because they need someone to be the focus of a next episode, they drag her back to the previous state she was in.
Well, either way, she's fucking further ahead than Lightning Dust.
Welcome to Fluttershy's life. She just gets dragged back all the time, repeating the
Yeah.
same
I have to be more
all
assertive
the time.
every episode.
Yeah, but I mean, just Fluttershy. Come on, man.
There was she was pretty assertive in the episode today.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I just from the images I've seen, I think it's just another rehash of the one where they tried to make her a model.
No, it's not.
so she
Nah,
jigs in
yeah.
her nose again.
I think she's gotten better, hasn't she? She's not
Yeah.
as bad as she used
She's
to
not
be.
complete pushover like
Like-
she used to be.
yeah, when you go back and watch season 1, a lot of the time you just think, like, holy fuck, you're annoying.
Well, yeah, but why do they take her from being, I'm sorry, nobody touched me, nobody look at me, no.
I'm sorry.
I want to go in the background to like,
that makes
I'm your mistress. Get on the ground and beg.
it,
The episodes. I'm like, what the fuck?
It reminds me of the if anyone ever watched it, the what is it? It's a parody.
Friendship is
Uh,
witchcraft?
No, it was one that was more adult satire. How it's
Mentally
Series?
advanced series.
yes, there we go. Thank you.
Mentally advanced.
He's
that's
all,
the one.
I'm sorry.
Wasn't that drawn somewhere?
Yeah, it was done somewhere.
Yeah.
I just find it so funny how how they can get the accurate representation of Fluttershy for like first couple seasons where she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Wolf.
Now she's
why it's
really
called
developed into like this someone who's not this complete pushover like she used to be.
To be honest, I think a lot of the characters have had quite decent character development. I think that's one of the few things.
Yeah.
Well, not one of the few things. One of the many things the show's done well. I think that's why there's rumors of it wrapping up, just because
Yeah.
everyone's sort of achieving their dreams. Like Rarity is 3 shops,
Got
in
her
3 different
boutique.
cities.
Yeah.
Rainbow Dash is a Wonderbolt. You got Fluttershy, she's got her own sanctuary now. Twilight's got some wings super glued on by Celestia.
Well, yeah.
Can I just say, Spike?
What about him?
Ah, the poor guy hasn't
Character
had
development.
for quite a while.
Yeah,
He doesn't need character development.
That character's there to literally be the butt of all jokes.
I
Just
like
count
him. I
Star
like
the Dragon.
him.
to be fair, when he's not
yeah.
written to absolute shit like Spike at your
Spike
service
at
or
your
Princess
service.
Spike, he's actually
Oh, yes.
a good character. He has
I find
moments.
he's especially good with Starlight. It just
Yeah.
becomes
Yeah.
like,
Right?
holy fuck, these people we know. Goddamn.
like, was it
Yeah.
the
Spike is
Crystalline?
technically
Where
the ambassador
Spike was
of
walking-
friendship to the dragons, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Ambassador, yeah.
basically.
No, I think he is. Not basically.
He
I think
is.
actually
Oh, he is. He
Yeah,
hasn't done
Twilight-
anything.
He's always been as the ambassador of friendship to the dragon.
Well, you remember the
You
episode
can
where
barely
he was feeling
ambassador yourself
down?
out of a pickle jar, sir.
What I don't get. What was his duties as the ambassador of friendship? Like Ember just does her own shit anyway.
To just be friends and teach them about friends because he's a dragon, so he
And
can
then we
their
never get an
trust.
episode teaching him
Yeah,
about
just-
friendship.
I am the ambassador of friendship to the dragons. I will subsequently stay in Equestria and not communicate with any other dragons.
Well, no,
Yeah.
no. So didn't he become one after his time with Ember during the Dragon King thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he
Yes.
went back to Equestria.
Right.
And the wonderful thing is, the one episode they could have had him teaching Ember something. At the end of the day, Thorax actually taught her about friendship and not Spike
But yeah.
Yeah.
in Triple Threat.
And that episode was just like, all of this could have just been averted if you just had been honest and been like, I forgot. Whoops. Sorry.
That's most of the.
That's
Premise
like
of
every
a lot of the
episode.
episode.
It's like every
That's
episode, I
just
know.
every episode,
It's such
yeah.
a contrived, forced conflict sometimes with Spike.
Spike
Yeah.
could be a great character. Like seriously, he could have his own spin-off miniseries or something where it's just his day.
He's just underutilized, I think.
Sombra, you're
Yeah.
muted.
And he suffers from.
Unmute your mic.
I didn't think that
Speaking of Sombra, talk about characters that disappeared after one episode.
Try it now. Sorry, your server muted for some reason.
Ghost, what the stand?
Fucking.
Ghost, I don't think you read chat at all. Anyway,
What you talking about?
We're,
Ghost just joined
here-
it. Oh, look, a VC's happening. I wonder what these guys are
Oh
talking
look,
about.
social interaction for the day.
This is my yearly
Is that what that
quota.
is?
Oh, dear God.
I'm dipping.
Well,
and there he went.
well, that was some strange excitement, I guess, for the first podcast.
That is Ghost coming in out of fucking nowhere.
And
Yep.
yeah, I'm
That's
pretty
what
sure
he
like
typically does.
Hello, Borg.
95% of this.
Wait,
I thought.
did Borg
Oh shit,
join?
Borg's actually here.
Yes, hi. This is Borg.
Oh,
Hey,
hello.
Borg,
Hey,
introduce
Borg.
yourself.
Well, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself. Who are you?
Who am I? I'm WeAreBorg, and I am in the context of where we are. I am the founder of Friendship is Gaming, which was absorbed by Equestria Daily, and is the forums and Discord channel as we now know it.
Okay.
I'm more of a mascot than anything else now. So.
When
Yeah,
did you
this is the guy.
first get into the? When did you first get into the fandom?
When did I first get into the fandom? I got into the fandom in 2011, and back then I didn't have a son screaming behind me. Probably about in February or something. I think that was about it. Kind of near the end of season 1.
All right, so that's a quick warning for everyone. If you like ponies for too long, you just end up with a son screaming behind you. So just
Yeah,
watch
it
out for that.
just happens.
Beware
you
of
just wake
ponies
up
may
like,
cause
"Oh,
unexpected
what's
children.
What made you watch it? Like, what made you see a show about pastel-colored horses and think, "That's my shit"?
Well, that's real easy, and I didn't come up with this phrasing. I stole it from someone else. 4chan got me into ponies. Ponies got me out of 4chan.
That's
a good
pretty
process.
surprising. To be fair, I think a lot of us sort of like we found an interesting show, but then we mostly stayed for the fandom. Like I know I stayed for the fandom. Like I'll probably
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I 100% agree. I'm definitely here mostly for the fandom, admittedly.
That's why.
Which would probably explain why I've fucking failed to watch like 25% plus of the show's episodes.
That's why you've just been awfully quiet whenever there's just episode discussion like that.
Yeah,
That
it's like,
isn't past.
oh fuck, I don't know what we're talking about here. Shit.
Just sitting there idly twiddling his thumbs, waiting for something relevant to come up.
Yeah, just like spam refreshing fanfiction, looking for something decent.
One of these days they'll talk about Wonderbolt Academy, I'm sure. One of these days.
Yeah, that's pretty
Eventually.
much what it is. It's like, oh, I hope they talk about lightning dust today. Sniff.
Who knows? Maybe we'll do individual character discussions.
No, what is there to fucking say? Hey, look, it's Rainbow Dash without the good bits.
And without the rainbow, just dash.
Not the good bits. Are you saying there's good bits to be had?
I mean,
There's
there's more
bang.
good bits in Rainbow Dash than there is in Lightning Dust. I can tell you that much.
You know, you're
thought
not
they were
really
the same
convincing
thing.
anyone that you think Lightning Dust is your favorite pony. It's like,
Look, this is why I can't explain it, okay? It's like, I look back on it and it's like, man, if she appeared as a character today, I would not like her. Probably. But yeah, it's just kind of like, hey, she's somewhat cool looking.
You've committed too
Like,
hard.
it's like,
Yeah, I know. I'm just sinning myself as a Lightning Dust fan now. I should probably just stop.
maybe you
You
should
should
find a
probably
new
just jump
pony.
ship.
No, I'm digging this fucking hole. Like, it's already 6 feet deep. It's like, why not go another 6 feet?
It's like someone paid you 50 quid like 5 years ago. Just like, I dare you to fucking have Lightning Dust as your best pony for like the rest of your life. And now you're just
Sure.
you've spent the money on like 4 takeaways or something. Can you just sat there looking at your profile picture, just
Yeah, it's
wondering
like,
what
hey,
life could have
I
been.
do like this character, but I can't explain shit.
Speaking of which,
I
Alice,
bet- I bet he wakes up in the middle of the night just thinking of lightning dust, and then he looks in the mirror and is like, why have I done this?
Can't escape.
Sky,
way out.
Sky is in his
Right,
DMs
anymore.
just like every day, just saying, leave Lightning Dust, sunsets right here. Just he can sense his wavering.
Fucking, I've already told them
He
what I
will be
think of
converted.
Sunset.
All
a,
will
like-
convert.
Admittedly, a memey way, but I've already told them what I think about Sunset.
Best character ever, right? Is that what you were gonna say?
Yes.
No, I
Truly.
was saying how she, Starlight, and Twilight are all the same characters, even though they're obviously not. But
Their names are almost the same.
it's
I mean,
it's
not bad.
funny to joke about them being similar.
They're cut of the same
Yes.
mold.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they've got some similarities. Like, sure, they're all unicorns, they're all smart as fuck, and it's like, hey, 2 of these guys had redeeming arcs, and you can argue until the fucking sun sets about which one is better or which one is worse. But
See
they
what you
both
did?
had a redemption, so
yeah.
they're kind of similar in some overarching manners, I suppose, would be the best way of putting it. Yeah. And I mean, it's sort of like, hey, Twilight kind of reformed them. Although actually, sort of not really with Sunset. Sunset was a bit different. But
I've got a good question for Sky. Seeing that Sky is resident doesn't like Starlight person. What are your hopes and dreams for this new season regarding Starlight?
I have no hopes or dreams regarding her. Maybe a decent episode now and then. Something that makes me want to
Maybe
say,
a decent episode.
hey, you're decent now.
You don't want
I'm-
better
I've been
character
pleasantly
development or
su-
anything?
I've been pleasantly surprised. I was expecting death.
Well, that is a better guess.
Nah.
Like, what does everyone think about the amount of reformed villains in the show? Like, I know a lot of people are fairly salty about it. Like, just like My Little Pony, reformation is magic. Like,
What
they
I wanna
can't
see
think
is,
of
like-
new characters, they just reform old ones. They can't think of new villains, they just bring them back and reform them.
I'm
Better
personally
than
kind of
killing
glad
them
they didn't.
off.
I'm kind of glad they didn't do that with Chrysalis, because it means we get some more to do with her later on, hopefully.
Yeah,
I
and we
don't
already
think
have a
they would
reform
have-
changeling anyway. Well, not
If they
reform.
do that with Chrysalis, I don't think it would have felt right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
it
was,
really
it
wouldn't.
was. They made the better choice this way.
Yeah, she feels more evil. Like, the others had good intentions gone wrong, I guess. Like, Starlight just wanted everyone to be happy, and like,
And then
She
with
generally thought
Sombra,
he must
they
reform.
basically just blew him up because how can we reform this? We can't. Okay, let's just kill it.
yeah. Though he's not really dead, is he? I don't really know.
We don't
Ninety-five
know.
five
But
percent.
sort of got, like, possibly blasted into a lot of little pieces.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
People
that
in
I think the
voice
amount
are
of
saying he's
reformed
alive.
villains, the amount of reformed villains is actually I think it's a great aspect of that show because back in the early days of the fandom, a pony could show up for one episode and really have like just a fandom of its own behind that one character. And so since we get these recurring characters, it really lets us kind of like invest in that pony some more.
Yeah.
It is good, yeah. Like back in season 1 and season 2, everyone was just going crazy about characters that haven't even spoken a word. Like, you had Durfee, you had like Lyra sitting as a human on a bench, and then like
You get out of here. You stop that right now.
Honestly, what I really want to see is more like them to stretch out these reformations. Just don't compress them into a season finale or like one episode. Stretch them out through the entire season. Split the episodes up a bit so you have like just little bits and pieces where the villain is seen doing things that are different. Kind of like what Avatar used to do back in the day with The Last Airbender. You would have moments with Zuko where he had his own struggles and he had to find his own way to be good.
Well, haven't we been seeing some of that with Starlight Glimmer?
I was going to say
she goes a number of episodes, and she's not being evil necessarily, but she keeps trying to solve her problems with magic, and it always ends up being sort of an antagonist in each of the episodes that she's been starring in. Not necessarily this season, but previously when she first came on.
And I think a good example of that is the episode where she's pissed off at Trixie and she just keeps balling it up with magic.
Yeah,
I think
another one where she's trying to solve with magic, isn't it?
I think kind of what happened with Starlight was like they mostly reformed her in that season. Was it season finale? Fuck, I can't even remember.
It was the season finale.
And then I think the writers were kind of like, hang on a minute, whoa, that was kind of quick. Hang on a minute, let's try to actually fucking have her interact with Twilight and actually like grow a personality and stuff beyond. I
kind of saw it
right.
Just hate cutie marks sort of thing, and I think they've done reasonably well with that. It's just that because it was probably like the first big like gentle curve of reformation, it's a very, very bumpy curve.
It's actually interesting taking that point you mentioned, the writers, they really kind of rubbed their noses in it in Fame and Misfortune when they're like, hey, we don't change really in a single episode, even though they kind of do when it comes to the villains. But I think it kind of represents a shift we had last season. Once that episode aired, it's like, hey, this is why we keep learning the same lesson over and over again, because we're multi-dimensional characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was a great episode.
I mean, what other reformations have they actually done? I mean, there's Discord. I don't
see it as a reformation, more so as obey or you're going back to stone.
Discord's it's a bit dodgy as a term of reformation. Because it's kind of like, okay, I agree not to be evil because I like Fluttershy.
I love how you didn't call it a shoe, you called it a slipper at that point. It's like, because it's Fluttershy, very much holding the linchpin there.
Yep.
She's not going to be the firm like boot of justice. She's just going to be the gentle, here, coddling and kindness.
It's those fluffy pink slippers.
Fluffy pastel horses.
Yeah, but for Discord it was basically just, I've got a waifu now, might as well be good.
Are you going back in the rock?
Yeah, he's less of an asshole, but it's kind of like you get the feel that it's like, hey, I'm just saying I could become an asshole again whenever I feel like it.
But I'm not going to be.
Yeah,
we kind of saw that a little bit when Tyrant came about, and Discord was like, oh wait, you know what? I haven't been, my huge evil, enormously powerful self, and really jumped on that bandwagon like almost immediately. And so, we saw him grow, of course, in that episode.
It was my headcanon anyway that was just like all a plan by Celestia to help Twilight get the last key needed for the. To get the last
that's
key
how
for
I
the,
just like
chest, because she got it from Discord.
Yeah, I like Celestia, and it's just kind of a case of hand waving away a lot of this kind of stuff. It's sorry to interrupt your point about
And-
keys, but yeah.
It seems like Celestia always got the Worf treatment. If anyone's watched Star Trek, where basically there's this big, powerful villain, and that Celestia's supposed to be this all-powerful, kind of like ultimate being, and then they just kind of take out Celestia, being like, "Oh, they're more powerful than Celestia. They mean business."
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's why you need to invent
Yeah,
headcanon,
kinda.
so she isn't just a completely useless character.
Yeah, she's kind of just become cannon fodder a little bit. It's just like, oh
Exactly.
shit, big threat. Let me demonstrate how big this threat is by blasting Celestia's face off again.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I like to think that it's kind of like a case of her, like, either like being way too restrictive on her own power out of some sort of trauma or something. I don't know, maybe something to do with Luna. Or a case
She's a
of like,
giant
hey,
target.
I'm just going to be like something like, hey, I'm just going to gamble everything and hope Twilight grows out of this experience and doesn't fuck us all over.
I'm just gonna do nothing and hope a friendship lesson is learned.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
just lying fucking unconscious on the floor of the fucking palace in the wedding episode. Just, I hope fucking Twilight fixes all my shit.
Oh no, I messed up. Let's hope that Twilight can do it, because apparently I'm not going to be able to.
I'm a literal fucking goddess, but I've not really done much great other than turn fucking Discord to stone and send my own sister to the fucking moon.
And then sent a student and her 5 friends to go fight basically the king of ultimate chaos and disharmony.
Yeah, hey, it's like,
You're-
this guy could literally destroy the world. No,
After
sorry.
done.
You're really just
Yeah.
kind of left with those two options. Either she is a completely worthless character, or she's like this, evil mastermind who really just like knows how everything is going to play out and sets up everything, and so she doesn't have to do anything because she's already
She
set
already
the
knows how it's
pieces
going
and
to end.
right. She
Yeah,
already knows
which
how
is-
it's going to end.
Which is why my headcanon about her being a benevolent ruler is, you can probably rubbish it pretty heavily. I just like to cling on to the whole thing that she is actually useful in some way.
They help.
I like to
someone.
Yeah,
hope
that's
she was a
basically the basis of my entire headcanon on her.
Yeah, because as it stands, it's
They only keep her around to sell toys. There you go. That's the
That
whole reason.
reminds-
What's that really
That reminds
shitty
me
quote
that-
from the Celestia toy? Just like, "Are you a princess too?" Or some like
Yeah,
really
fly to the
Let's
castle.
fly
shit
to the
like-
castle.
That's
There you
yeah.
go.
That reminds me of 2 toys. One where they had like a fully pink Celestia, which looked terrible.
She's
And
she
the other
is
one-
actually pink though. If you look really close at her body in the show, you'll notice she has a little bit of a pink thing.
Yeah, but this
They
was like
had to do
full on
that because
pink.
Hasbro
This was like
wants-
Pinkie Pie
Careful
pink.
with that phrasing again.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this you
Um,
saying like, is this you trying to justify the fact that your coat's not white?
Yeah. He's purple. He swears.
Please. Don't get into this. You will lose this argument.
Also, that also reminded me of there was a toy that I remember there was a bit of a fuss kicked up about. I can't remember if it was like the first Flurry Heart toy or whether it was a different it was another
Princess Skylar.
Yeah, that's it. And it's like,
Nice
hang
toy.
on a minute, that's like the collective fucking fan fall for fucking Cadence and Shining, and it's like that's what the fan fall was before Flurry Heart existed. And it's like, why did you make this into merchandise before the fucking show or any of the comics or literally anything said anything at all about them having a kid?
It was
Because it's forward.
that particular toy was indeed trying to fill kind of a
Yeah.
notch that was missing in the My Little Pony line.
Yeah, it seems like the toy makers sometimes get a little bit away from the show
Yeah.
and the cartoon and whatnot. They kind of just run a little bit rampant.
They
since
just do their
they're-
own
Well,
thing. Yeah.
Their My Little toy line, the My Little Pony toy line is definitely trying to hit that a particular age group, and
Yeah,
they often try to get a lower age group to kind of wean a child into the toy line and wean them into the show, and you'll notice that like the younger like preschool toys are probably the weirdest and not very canonical at all. They're
they're
very
just
bizarre.
Kinda,
They
let's
exist.
be
That's
pretty
it.
princesses to get the 4-year-olds into the
They
show or
want to
whatever.
get people hooked on the toys and the show from like an early start, because there's little girls out there who are the target demographic, and they have grown up with the show because it's 8 years old now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is definitely a bunch of little girls out there that have started at like say 4 or 5 years old watching this show and are now in their 12s still watching it because they've grown up with it and all the lessons it teaches.
And I think something could be said, like probably a very, very long and in-depth discussion about whether the show has matured to like keep those sort of people interested as they've gotten older. That's probably a very deep discussion to some extent.
Yeah, I think just a short answer, I think it has. Like, as
I would agree
so
with
did
you,
the show.
But
I think the comics have more tailored towards like that kind of older, more like grown audience, because the comics have so much development outside of the show that really just keeps your eye going.
They're
Yeah,
they're like extras. If you like the show and you do pick up the comics, they're like that little extra bit that makes it even better. Like it's not necessarily hooked with the show, but it still follows in its footsteps and does the same things.
Who actually reads the comics, though, right?
I do. I
read a
like
bunch
them.
I would read
Man,
them, but
I own almost every comic variation, and I think I've read a total of 3.
Borg.
I just imagine trying to get any of this shit in a place like New Zealand.
yeah,
It just doesn't
Americans.
happen. It's like, hey, would you like to pay fucking $40 for shipping for an A4 piece of paper?
This is why you like buy them in bulk and have all of them shipped right to you.
I know, but then they release a new one, and then it's just like, oh great, my collection's incomplete. You just wait until they're all done.
And then
I
you
also
get
don't
them.
have any room on
you do what
bookshelves.
people usually do, and that's try and find a source online just to kind of read them out that way.
I would just read them as a PDF, you mean?
Actually, you can get them pretty easily.
Yeah, they're on Yay Ponies, aren't they?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
the thing with this fandom is that because of us, as in the Brony fandom, a lot
There's
of
a lot
the
of
show's
users.
stuff is accessible online if you look.
Yeah.
I just wish Yay Ponies had more on it, though. That was more up to date besides the episodes like comics and whatnot.
Right.
There's
How
a lot of stuff
behind
there, but
is
it's
it?
not often up to date.
Yeah.
I haven't checked in a while, but yeah.
Quite
yeah,
far.
their staff is a little bit lacking these days, but what are you gonna do? It's been quite a while.
I'm pretty sure a lot of them are they're temps, or they're kind of like temporary writers that come in, they'll do in a couple episodes, but they don't actually have the investment that other people have had in the characters, so they don't know them that well.
If I need anything on comics, I'll just go to Illustrious Q. You can
Oh yeah,
afford me.
good thing Q isn't here. We'd be talking
I know.
about comics.
I know. If Q was here right now and someone started talking crap about the comics, oh boy.
It all goes down.
Oh, well,
to-
me and
to the-
Q can agree that the very first, not the main series. What's the other series called? The other friendship series, the second one they came out with.
I don't read them. I don't know.
I can't think of the name right now.
Legends of Magic or something like that?
No, not the Legends of Magic. It's like Friends Forever. That was it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Friends Forever. The very first Friends Forever is the worst comic I have ever read. It was
Which one was it?
abysmal. I don't remember. I think it was Pinkie Pie and someone else.
I have
was
it on my computer. 1 second.
the worst comic ever written. It was so bad.
Like,
Is it like a case of a terrible plot, or?
Are you
No,
talking about
like-
the one where Applejack
I was
and
gonna-
Pinkie Pie were in a baking contest?
I was gonna say, I know
Maybe.
there's been a
That's
lot
the
of.
first
It was
Forever.
poorly written. The plot was bad. The art wasn't super great. But mainly it was the writing. The writing was just god awful.
Atrocious.
Oh,
Yeah, it was about Applejack and Pinky doing a bake thing. Yeah.
Because I know
Yes.
there's been a lot of controversies about the quality of the art in the
There's
comics.
the art and voice.
Yeah,
Well,
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
all
Yeah,
of them
it's
have
true.
different artists. Like they
Yeah.
don't all have the same artist.
yeah. I've heard some. I can't remember any particular cases, but I believe there's been some controversy over artists like taking like really lazy routes for doing the comic art, and also drawing the ponies in like really, really weird fashion. I'm recalling one particular picture of Fluttershy with like horrendously distended limbs. It's really creepy.
Is this
I don't
show
have it to
or
hand,
comic?
unfortunately, but it would be a good laugh if I did have it to hand. But yeah,
Yeah,
I just know that
Fluttershy's a
that's,
xenomorph. Look out.
yeah, like the fucking limbs are all over the place. Damn, I wish I had it now. It's quite funny,
I'm
but
surprised someone in
yeah, I
voice doesn't
believe
have it.
Fucking someone
it
might.
might pop
Honestly,
up
I don't want to wait
somewhere.
for it to come up.
Yeah.
And also, my
Disappointing, you guys.
keyboard is very loud and clackety, and I can't be able to search for it right now because I have no
Oh.
idea what I searched for.
That was one more thing that we wanted to talk about before we were done. What do you guys think about like the movie?
I think the
I
movie was
loved the
great.
movie. My main gripe with it was the villain, the Storm King,
Discount
not
Discord.
Tempest. He was kind of bad. Like he had an okay personality, but basically
was a
no
Just
backstory. Like it focused more on Tempest, which was okay. I guess she's a pretty neat character,
Yeah.
but the Storm
What-
King, Storm
Tempest
King,
is pretty amazing, but
he
you
was
don't.
more
Yeah,
like
you
a-
don't need to.
he was more like a tool to get Tempest to her character to turn around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's kind
basically
of
a
like
tool
he's
to
just
develop.
yeah. I am just the big bad in the background. Be afraid of me.
I really felt like Storm King was just kind of like a discount Discord. They wanted to use Discord, but it's like, oh, he's reformed, so we can't exactly make him a villain. So let's make an easy one-off character that we can use for this movie, and then surprise, he's dead. No one will remember him.
I mean,
So
he
what
isn't
does-
technically dead, even though he just smashed on the ground. Like he's not technically.
I mean,
dead,
that's
is
pretty
he?
dead.
That's
pretty
that's
dead.
pretty dead.
Like in the credits, his eyes were like moving or something, and so he wasn't. Like he's still alive. Like I think
He was a
canon.
Which is
Like a sombra
still
situation.
I
alive.
mean, yeah. There's probably a whole like bloody treasure trove of headcanon with like being encased in that stuffed stone, still meaning you're alive, even if you're shattered into several hundred pieces or something. But
If Sombra's
I don't
dead, then he's definitely dead as well.
Yeah.
What's
What
a
the-
very interesting mix of personalities, though. Like he himself is not just purely Discord. He had a lot of Disney villain in him. It wasn't
Yeah.
evil for the sake of being evil. He had a goal. Like Discord, I feel like he's just there to like he just wants to fuck shit up. He doesn't
Yeah.
have a reason to be
Mate,
evil.
chaos, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean,
But
that is
this
his
guy,
job,
he was driven. The Storm King actually had a purpose to him.
yeah,
I think-
it was a pretty generic purpose, but
Yeah.
But it was a
still one.
purpose nonetheless.
Yeah.
So
It
as
was
a
pretty entertaining though.
as a blog pony, for that whole year or whatever it was, my whole world like revolved around finding every single little snippet of this movie, including going to HasCon and seeing essentially the entire movie, beforehand. And after having interviews and conversations on panels and sitting down and having drinks with staff, it was really clear that this movie could have been like just a whole lot better if they had simply just had more money. It really just came down to money, and because it was the first film, it was only funded so far, and so some things like a little bit more backstory, a little bit better CGI, stuff like that. It really just came down to money, and that's one reason why they came out with that prequel comic. I felt it really filled in like a lot of the gaps in some of the motivation behind some of the characters, including Capper and the Storm King. And pretty much all of them, you really get that. You really get a great backstory that you just couldn't get in the movie just based on time, and time is money. I think they did After watching it several times, and I think they did. If you had to, I think they maxed out what they could possibly do given the funding that they had.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
yeah.
so I'm hoping that when they do another one that it's funded more, and it really gets the treatment you deserve. But for me, it really felt like a like kind of like a 3-part episode. And
Yeah.
and
I know what you mean.
and it was just as good as any premiere, if not better. It wasn't your epic masterpiece of a movie by far, but if you compare it to what we've seen so far in the show, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. And
Yeah,
Honestly, knowing Hasbro's track record, if they make another one and if it follows the same pattern as the QG movies, the second one is going to be amazing. Just if
Yeah,
it's the
hopefully,
same
yeah.
stuff
Hopefully.
in quality from the first Equestria goals to the second, if we get that same jump in quality to what's already existent in the first Pony movie, we might get something that's actually very good. Like
I think that generally sums up my opinion on the movie. Yeah, it's just it had so much ambition and it really wanted to go places, but it was just constrained by the realities of actually making it, i.e.,
it did
funding
make it,
and
though.
time.
It definitely made it.
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I
it was
think,
definitely
yeah.
pretty decent. It just could have been even better if they'd have
Oh,
just
yeah.
had more time and investment. But yeah, that's just the corporate world for you, I suppose.
Yeah.
Did anyone else feel like some of the races they just kind of walked into the wrong movie? Like we have all
Yeah.
these new races just out of nowhere, and like
Yeah,
if in the Storm King it was one of those things where it's just like, oh yeah, all the lands surrounding Equestria have been like conquered by this one ruler, but you haven't heard of him until now.
Yeah, nobody knows about
They
it.
did.
and
They
never
did a
heard of these
lot of
races.
world building.
They
Like that
did,
one
and-
movie had more world building than like 3 seasons in a row,
Yeah,
which was really awesome. And I'm really glad they're tying it into the show, at least
But-
to
Yeah.
some extent.
yeah, with the map expanding, that was
Yeah,
pretty cool. It's
Just like I said earlier, yeah.
yeah. Again, I think it could have been one of those things that if they'd have just had more time, had more funding, had a longer run time for the movie, they could have just, gone a lot more in depth with and
Yeah.
expanded on a lot more.
Yeah, and when compared to
Seems
the
like a lot
show,
of that
it
content
was-
ended up relegated to the. Oh, sorry, I was straight over someone there, wasn't I?
I was just saying that, like, compared to like the
Don't
show,
worry.
it is
So-
at least comparable to some of the better episodes in the show, for quality wise. So I mean, it's not like it's bad.
Someone
Yeah.
here was wondering what we thought about the switch to Paramount as distributor. I don't have an opinion on that because I don't know anything about that. But
yeah, you think I know about
This is this
distributors.
is
What was
above
it?
me.
The season 8 Paramount now, or was it just the movie?
I thought he was just talking about the movie. I don't know.
It's weird that a very large movie company is now interested in distributing this little show that's not even in their typical target demographic. Like Paramount is usually in the really big movies, like quote unquote AAA productions and such. But I don't know. Maybe something good will come of it. If anything, they have a better reach than Hasbro on its own does, or Lionsgate.
I mean, I don't. Outside of, I guess, exposure, I don't really see what that means. Like, what
Well,
does it
exposure is
change?
everything. The more people you can get
Draw
your
in.
show to, the more opportunities you have someone to get hooked on. The moment they get hooked on your show, they're practically guaranteed to get hooked on your merchandise.
Yeah,
I think
and-
it's
all the other stuff that comes with it.
really it's just a business decision, and and that's really just what it boils down to is, as far as distribution is distribution as far as I'm concerned, and I don't think there's anything super compelling that would a reason for the change versus what we could see different wise versus than it just being a purely business decision.
Yeah.
I just remembered, Borg, we never asked you what your favourite pony was. That's just completely out of nowhere.
My favorite pony. My favorite pony is Twilight Sparkle.
Twilight Sparkle.
Nice.
Overall.
Good man.
Overall,
Yeah.
I'd have to say that Twilight Sparkle is my favorite pony overall.
Okay. Why?
Why? Because she is. That's a very interesting question. Let me think. Why
I'm
is
expecting a better answer than T6 gave.
Hey, look,
Give him a break. He's barely awake.
I'm just going to stay
I watch it for the
silent.
plot. No. It's, she's a incredibly smart pony, and I think that's why I kind of like her. She had issues with friendship, which probably way back in the day when the show started, that certainly resonated with me as a person. And I think that's that really speaks a lot why I like her. That's probably why I married my wife, is because she has like 2 master's degrees and a doctorate. I like smart girls, so there's that.
Fair enough. Yeah, as good a reason as any. What, Jeremy, what do people think of like the progression of the show from season 1? Because obviously it has changed a lot over the past 7.
Hell of a ride.
years.
I'm every season that comes along has a bunch of reasons for me to enjoy it.
They
It's
have
gotten a
done
bit
some
more
good
mature
progression.
over
It's good,
time.
it's good progression, yeah.
Like it's been growing a little bit with the audience every time. They're dabbling in a lot more mature territory. It's not the same old, hey, this is a very basic friendship problem that we have to make incredibly complicated thing.
Well, that's true, but there's also the fact that they also can't. It's almost literally can't be doing that for too much, because there are only so many friendship lessons on a basic level that you can do.
Yeah, so they've had to sort of move on. Like I thought they've done something really good with having each season have its own sort of story to revolve around. Like season 1 had Twilight's friendship lessons, season 2 had the main Six's friendship lessons, season 3 I don't even remember. It was like 13 episodes.
That's when they kind of started phasing the friendship journal out.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm kind of glad they stopped with the letters, because like, imagine something like Perfect Pair, and then at the end it's just like, Dear Princess Celestia, today I learned how my parents died.
They phased out the letters. The journal came in quite a while later. I think the journal came in season 4?
4, yeah.
Yeah. 3.
It
I
was
think
4.
3
It's
was
when
the end of the letters. About the end of season 3 was when the letters completely stopped.
Yeah.
And eventually got replaced with the journal, and now we don't have anything. There's no recap at the end.
And I'm honestly really happy about that. It opens the show up to a bit more creative freedom, I guess.
I can agree
There's
with
a
that.
lot less hand holding.
Yeah,
Like,
it just
there's less.
What
Hey,
are
we learned
hands?
this.
it did kind of
Also
fit well
hopefully-
into season 1 and even some bits of season 2, but at the end it was just kind of like here's the moral of this episode. I'm gonna shove it down your throat, like as far as it'll go.
I think that at first it was useful for like filling in time and kind of recapping things and making sure that they hit that time deadline. But now that they have more, I guess, thought-provoking plots and more in-depth plots, it takes up just too much time to put in a summary at the end.
So
I
you
mean,
think
you kind of need that time?
it's sort
It
of
is
like
also
more episode development?
Yeah, like it was for filling in episodes and kind of like hitting home points. But after they're getting out of the easy stuff and it's a little more plot focused, more so than moral focused.
Yeah, if we didn't have that
Not
shit, we
as
would have
necessary.
if we didn't have that shit, we would have gotten the actual intended ending to Wonderbolt's Academy, which they ended up cutting purely because of runtime.
Or because they had to put in a letter at the end.
Yep, pretty much.
Was
Yeah,
it?
ask
They
the kids
wanted
about
to
it. He
have-
knows the original
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, the original ending was actually published on EQD back when the episode released.
I
it was
never
about
heard
a
about
month
this.
later.
What was it?
Yeah, I've never heard.
The whole thing was that they were supposed to show at least it was only supposed to be a small scene, but they were going to have Rainbow Dash. Actually, it was 2 small scenes. They were going to have Rainbow Dash flying as the lead pony, with Lightning Dust as her wing pony, and then there was going to be like a very short 3 or 4 line conversation where Lightning Dust would like admit that she was being way too reckless, and Rainbow Dash would like forgive her, and then there'd be a second scene of Rainbow Dash returning to the main 6 and being a bit boastful. But yeah, it would have taken another 30 seconds of runtime, which they didn't have, so it was completely cut, just entirely removed.
So that would have
Shame
left
they
Lightning
limit the
Dust.
episodes to only 22 minutes. Like, you could do 30 minutes. What? It's
Now
gotta
with
be
the
22.
ads, like they only get so
Gotta
much
fit
allotted
them
time.
ads. Gotta fit in that product placement and those ads.
Gotta fit it
Yeah,
in.
and that would have changed what happened with Lightning Dust a lot, but you know. Oh well.
I
Fans
heard
filled
you guys
it in.
talking about
Yeah, it would have
when-
left her as a Wonderbolt, like, or at least in a
Pretty
Wonderbolt
much,
Academy.
yeah.
So
A
then,
little bit of extra runtime would have made a lot of episodes. Like, a lot of them had they needed just a little bit more to make it like go from mediocre to really good. Just those 30 seconds that everyone
If we'd have
wants.
just had less gag.
Yeah.
to be fair, what would they
Still
do?
a lot of
What,
time.
like, TC, what do you think they would have done with Lightning Dust if they kept her in the show? Like, if they reformed her, if they turned her into a better pony, that's literally Rainbow Dash. Like, I've turned you into
Yeah.
Rainbow Dash.
That's the thing. I like to have thought that they would have had her as sort of a Rainbow Dash's version of Trixie, where it's someone to like sort of spur on improvement in Rainbow Dash.
Yeah,
So
okay.
sort of a rival, sort of not in a way. Because
Okay.
obviously, yeah, Trixie obviously isn't really a rival of Twilight anymore. She's just another character who's there and involved in things sometimes.
Or
But
maybe
she
more of
was
a along that same line, maybe a Trixie version of how Trixie is to Starlight.
Yeah, maybe she would have, because especially, since the end of the episode planned would have had her as Rainbow Dash's wing pony. Maybe they could have ended up being, sort of tag team pals in the way that Starlight and Trixie are, just like 3 seasons earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all up to fanon,
Also,
unfortunately.
I heard you guys that when you were talking about EQG movies, I never actually got into those because the art style, I don't know why, just kind of
Scary. It's scary.
Yeah. Like
Legs.
As someone who does like Equestria Girls, I can agree that the art style for some of the characters just seems a bit off.
But like, what's
Yeah.
enjoyable about it? Because I've never actually gotten into it. Like, I don't know which movies are good about it, and
Well, it's just, to me, it's just more pony, just not literal pony.
okay.
Yeah, kind of.
The most off-putting things for a lot of people are the human designs. The proportions are really
It's the
they're
legs.
really weird. They
Yeah,
evoke a
they're
lot
really
of
off.
those early '90s cartoons that had like very asymmetrical bodies with large legs and
Right.
Yeah.
tall legs. Like a lot of DD from Dexter's Lab. That's what it evokes with me.
Okay.
They have
Yeah, I
like
can see
super
that.
long legs, but the thing about that is they're very wholesome in a sense. There's a lot more thought put into making one of these movies. They have to make new backgrounds, new characters, so they have to have a decent story behind it. At least not for the
Okay.
first one.
There are
But,
also
you
a
know,
lot of
Yeah.
thoughts in these movies.
there's a lot of throwbacks to the show. There's a lot of Sunset. She's practically the
Basically, this
selling
guy's just
points
preaching
to a
for
lot of
his
people.
favorite
Yeah.
character. They're
I
great.
wouldn't say it's not like anyone can blame it of being poorly. Well, for the most part, I wouldn't say that it's poorly written. It's definitely like
The
pretty
first
well
episode
done.
is-
Yeah.
The first one is definitely poorly written. Like
Oh,
it's very
yeah.
it's
Except
it's the
for that.
worst one for sure, but
eh.
I don't hate it. Like I still enjoy it somewhat.
It's
Yeah, I
very
still
mediocre.
enjoyed it. I actually disliked the
Everything-
third one more than the first one.
Oh no, that one's my favorite actually. Like I know for many people, Rainbow Rocks is the best one for a lot of people, but for me, my favorite's Friendship Games. I just think it has the best story. I think
To me, it just felt
okay,
like it had. Sorry,
Rainbow
Karen.
Rock-
story was
Rainbow Rocks had
disappointing
better
because
individual
it
songs.
could have been all of it could have been avoided by just common sense in a way.
For Rainbow Rocks or
hey,
Friendship
hey,
Games?
this thing is friendship games.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, your thing is doing bad things. Maybe you shouldn't use it. Maybe you should put it away. But no, she just continues doing it.
Well, in a way, she's just kind of like how Pony Twilight was before she discovered friendship. She was all about learning about other stuff.
So you're saying like
Even
Sidefly didn't really understand friendship, so she.
Oh no, she definitely wasn't. She was intended to be like a episode 1 Twilight right off the
Well,
bat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. I
Well,
guess I can see that.
it's still really iffy. Why would you, as a scientist, see that your device is causing harm and still continue to use it?
Yeah, and the principal as well. Like, oh look, there's some tentacles just almost like squished my fucking students. But
The principal was just a.
let's
She's
keep
a
using it.
she's not a nice person.
After
I'll say that.
2 movies, I think the principals are pretty much accepted the fact that nothing normal is going to happen in the school.
I mean,
It's
like
just, okay, here's
the
the thing.
crystal prep principal. She was just
Yeah,
like,
she's the one I met. Yeah.
yeah, she just seemed
think
like
of-
a unbelievable character, I guess.
Just think of all the insurance money they're getting out of all this property damage.
We can have a pool this
Why
Why do
time.
we keep doing this? Because it pulls in bank.
That's how they end up going to Camp Everfree in the next movie. Just cashed in the insurance money. For the damages.
You think we want to get rid of these kids? Nah, they're giving us all the insurance money. This is a gold mine.
I'm just still like slightly corner sizzling angry with the third movie because they're like, hey, we're going to have lightning dust in it as a crystal prep student. No, hang on, fuck that. We can sell more toys by making fucking Indigo Zap instead.
What? So it didn't
Yeah,
have
nobody
lightning
knows
dust.
what
Yeah,
the fuck it is.
Yeah, basically Indigo Zap is like the Rainbow Dash counterpart amongst the crystal prep students.
I mean, all the crystal prep students are new ones to an extent. Like,
Yeah,
there's people
but
like
she's-
Sassy and who
I
else
don't know
was there?
any of their names, I
LaFleur?
won't lie.
I don't remember their names, but I do enjoy them.
I really like
Yeah,
the
the
really
Indi-
literal one, like the... Like,
Oh, the one who's just like very flatly honest.
yeah,
The
like
blood
she
one,
wasn't
Yeah.
dick. Ever. She was just always honest. She just always said the situation as it was.
Yeah.
Sugarcoat. That's her name.
Oh,
Ironic.
oh my god, that name's
Uh,
super ironic.
Yes,
love it.
yes, it is.
That's
That's
great.
why I say something about myself that Sugarcoat is my spirit animal.
That's
I
great.
watched Friendship Games when it first aired. I used a live stream, and after the movie ended, the guy who was in charge of the live stream was really hyped about it. Like he wasn't expecting it to be that good. I don't know
I'll
who
give
it
them-
was, though.
I'll definitely give them a look though, because I watched a little bit of Rainbow Rocks and I thought this is all right. Just I don't know, it all felt a bit forced at times for me. The whole change to Equestria Girls.
Well, I guess it
Just
kind
think
of
of
was
it as
forced to
a
some point,
alternate universe, which is basically what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it
but-
is.
Yeah, that's literally
Yeah.
that's literally what it is. There's a portal that goes to a different universe. But a lot of them have been good. To be honest, like some of their latest stuff has been a lot. Like my two favorites were like my favorite was Rainbow Rocks, and then it was Mirror Magic, and now it's Friendship. No, Forgotten Friendship. Like there seems to be just the theme of just constantly upping the quality, which I'm happy about, to say the
Well,
least.
yeah, the more
Alright.
time you have to test
They're
stuff
getting
out.
better at doing it.
Yeah, you
So,
can kind of
like-
learn from previous mistakes.
Like Friendship Games is my favorite among the first 4 actual movies, but the Magic, the Tales of Canterlot trilogy of specials that came after that were better in quality, for sure.
They were done well.
Forgotten Friendship is along the same lines as well.
Okay.
And Forgotten
Alright.
Friendship was like half ponies anyway. It wasn't really Equestria Girls.
Yeah.
So-
So before we end things up here, because it's getting a little bit long, We should probably ask anybody in the voice chat if they have any questions that they want to ask.
Yeah, has anyone like always wanted to ask something to one of the mods or expand?
Or NG, can you
just
speak?
sorry?
They're asking in voice if they can speak. I'm going to say that probably not because it's already loud as fuck.
No.
with people
Type in
talking.
just type on.
Type in your questions.
Type in
Who's coming
type
up
voice.
next week?
Who's
That's a
coming
good
up?
question.
We'll let you know when we figure that one out.
You'll see them next week. There's your answer.
Yeah, there you go.
We're planning. We planned for this week, not next week. Come on.
Yeah, this is.
Don't know. Everything is planned. It's just a surprise.
Yeah,
Don't you worry your pretty little head.
We've got
Oh,
like
we already talked about the movie.
OneNotes. We've got Word documents on like OneDrive, backed up on Google Drive. It's all there.
There's a whole Microsoft project going on in the background. Don't you worry.
I got my Excel
Everything is
spreadsheets
planned
open.
quite
Yeah,
detailed.
we know what we're doing. Don't worry. We
Yeah.
have graphs and everything.
We've got the next like 300 episodes.
Year and a half. Yeah.
Next year and a half.
We got a full year of content.
Yeah, you can ask questions. I was saying that we've already talked about the movie, so I mean, it would be kind of repetitive at this point.
Yeah, we did already talk about it. Like, I don't know, like, was there something you always wanted to ask a mod, but then everyone, like, WeAreBorg is here. I've never even seen him
Borg's
speak
here. He
outside
does-
of
he does stuff on the
screencasts.
site.
Green.
I rarely see Cyanide talk, to be honest.
It's Cyanide.
I don't do voice chat, but I do just server
Text
chat a lot.
He and I have sung together before.
I'd
Okay.
say,
Is this recorded?
even though I swear this week has just been chaos for me. That's why you haven't seen me on much.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty much everything that we had planned to talk about then.
Yeah, I guess if no one's that interested in
Okay.
anything.
Someone has a question in Ponyville. He I don't know how
son of a
serious
bitch.
he is. He says,
Okay.
is it true that the non-bronies are taking over? I have no idea what he means.
Is it true that the non-bronies are taking over?
I feel like that isn't serious.
I mean, the Joe
It's-
Jokers are trying to take over the chat basically half the time.
Yeah, I mean we've got.
Oh, he's talking about the server. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I personally blame Mod for the invasion of Joe Jokes constantly, and I do admit I did not do anything to help the slow.
Then we've got Tadin, who just came in as a raider and now ships Twidash and has seen all the episodes.
Yeah,
So-
you see, this is how we get them. They come in thinking that they're not a part of the fandom, but then they hang around and then
Yeah.
then they're a part, regardless of if they want to be or not.
They join as a raid, and then we convert them slowly and steadily when they fail to raid.
Yeah, even when they don't want it, like they come in and they're like, "Oh, I hate it," and then they come in and like, even if they still hate
And
it,
they're like,
they're
oh, I
still
love
here.
it.
So yeah, is it true that the non-bronies are taking over? It's the opposite way round.
We're
Yeah,
taking
for
them
me
over.
personally, it's a no to that question. Oh,
They're trying to take the server over, but we're converting them one by one. All
Is it-
will fall.
is it bad if you have nothing better to do than watch the show?
Probably. I
No,
would say,
what's-
like eating and sleeping are kind of necessary.
Yeah,
Actually, what's I can answer that. Not only do I just watch the show, but I write articles for a website about the show. And
Wow, what
for
website is
reviews.
that, Borg?
I don't know. I think it's called Equestria Daily or something. And go to
No, I never heard
That's
of
a
it.
stupid name.
yeah, like
That's a terrible name.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like some equestrian newspaper, but we live in the real world. We don't have the newspapers, and it's a blog.
Is Equestria real?
Hey, here's a new April Fool's joke.
Yes, it is,
We
man.
print an EQD newspaper, like an actual newspaper.
And that's it. We
No,
just turn the
it's-
page, take a picture of it, upload it, and there you go.
I'm about to say, and that's just that for the day. No uploads.
Just somebody flipping through it. That's the only upload for the day.
Yep, this is news.
Oh no, I can't do deadlines. That like everything I write is late. If not by days, then by like just an hour.
Don't worry, I'm horrible with deadlines too. I have like 4 projects lagging right now, which need to be done by the end of the month.
Apparently, I have. So last season, I apparently had no life, and I ended up writing about half of the episode follow-ups. And
Nice.
I want to
Nice.
say, more than half of them were an hour late.
Unacceptable. 1 hour late.
That's fine.
How are you not
Just an
like
hour.
fired? How are you not banned by this point? That's just
Banned.
atrocious.
1 hour late on fucking discussion post, or not discussion, episode follow-up post.
Yeah. And that's not having no life. That's having the pinnacle of your life. Your life is now on a downhill slope
This is
as you're
the
doing left.
This is the high point of your life.
This is
It's going downhill now.
human living at its absolute peak.
Your life is horse
Like
horse
the,
newspaper reviews.
Yeah.
This is the ideal human work schedule.
The more horse you have in your work schedule, the higher the quality of your life. Like, there's all those like discussions with
rating.
quality of life. Sorry?
A new rating system just in horses. Your life is now worth 5 horses.
Oh,
Awesome.
fuck. Hang on.
Good.
There's something I want to bring up now before we're done. You were talking about like horse riding systems. Like I remember in the show, I forget what episode it was, but they were talking about like old Ponish or whatever.
Old Ponish, yeah, that was...
I've seen people trying to like translate that into an actual language.
A third century question.
I wouldn't say
Actually, in most
Surprise.
cases, the Old Ponish was just Latin.
Yeah.
Or, or
There were Viking runes in one of the episodes. Like actual
That's
Viking
true.
runes.
So, wait, what language do they even speak? Viking.
Ponish. Not the old
Ponish.
Yeah, I don't know if Ponish is like just a general, like, it's a language, and then we have Old Ponish, like, name one of any of a
Ponish
half a
is
billion
literally
bloody
English,
European.
Everyone is.
I mean, yeah, but like, pretty much every European language has like an old version of itself from like 11 and 1200s or prior.
Yeah,
So
and
it's,
English
like,
is
super
just an
general.
amalgamation of all of them.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's Old English, and Old English would be like pretty much unintelligible for us today. And then there's like High and Low German and Old German and like a trillion different
Like,
dialects of German.
almost all of them stem from like 3 base languages.
So, what do you think Ponish came from then?
What?
Old Punish.
What kind of question is
Came from
that?
Old
I think
Ponish.
Ponish came from Old Ponish. Like, it's kind of in the name, isn't it?
Well, what do you think
Uh,
Old Ponish came from then, huh? What 3 things went into that?
It's interesting to try and think if maybe because obviously all 3 tribes never used to be united, so whether they
Right.
had individual languages maybe, and then that came together to make
Maybe.
Ponish.
No, they essentially didn't have an independent languages, and that's because if you recall, their need for each other,
Yeah.
even though they were separate cultures, was just way too great for them to survive with having individual languages. You know,
Yeah.
the Earth,
It was
the Earth
probably
ponies were
more
essentially the slaves.
I still don't get
The
why
mud
the
ponies.
other. I still don't get why the other races can't just plant seeds. Like, you just.
It's not as effective. They don't
It just
have those
doesn't
like
work.
Monsanto seeds.
Pegasus used plant seeds. It's not very effective.
So what do the other
It's
ponies
just
do?
like
Do they just
free-
like spit on it or something,
Free-fertilizer.
and then?
No, it's
They're
just when they
magic.
planted it is just immediately free fertilizer. That's the only fucking answer.
Basically, they're so shit that they fertilize the plants. There you
Oh.
go.
Damn.
I mean, the horse
Soft
fertilizer
isn't
is
gonna
the
be
thing.
happy to hear that.
Hey, I like the dirt ponies. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fucking
If he met
yeah.
us.
In the First World War, they took dead horses and melted them down to make explosives. So
Okay,
How
I don't
does
think that's
one
what they're doing in
melt
the
a
show.
horse?
I mean,
I
they
think
make glue out
they-
of them anyway, so.
yeah, I mean it's kind of like burning the corpse and shit, and then you get glycerin and shit out of it, which is obviously pretty good for explosives.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting for this to happen in the show now.
That's a nice, happy thing to finish.
I mean,
a
there's
podcast on.
glue in the show, though. Where does that glue come from?
You can make
Don't worry
glue
about
out of other shit, I think.
It's the rainbow
Why do you
factory.
think? That's why you think you don't see any
Sorry.
graves?
Why
you
do
don't
you
see any graves?
why do you think Applejack has pigs?
There you go.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
do you know what?
there's a reason you
That
don't see
one
any
episode
graves.
that episode where she talks to the cows, I just choose to forget about that because it was confusing. Like,
Choose to forget.
what animals are or are not sentient anymore?
Yeah, it
What is a
doesn't-
farmyard animal? What is a
Apparently,
sentient?
they're all
No.
sentient,
Yeah, true,
but
they-
only some of them can speak.
Yeah, because they can
That's-
speak
that's
to
the thing.
Fluttershy.
More
Fluttershy can
terrifying.
understand them.
That's
Yeah.
more terrifying, if anything. It's like,
Fireside's
oh,
just
fucking,
Fireside's just a shaman.
I mean,
this
none of
griffin
them are
wants some
actually
bacon. Allow me to listen
carnivorous. So nobody has any regrets for eating anyone because nobody actually eats other creatures.
Yeah,
Unless you're
everyone's
like a timber wolf
vegetarian,
or
isn't it?
something, but even they might not eat actual
Yeah, they're for firewood.
Yeah, but then like hippogriffs.
walking firewood.
Yeah, walking
no,
firewood.
hippogriffs.
Burn them, make them
Griffins
into
are like
explosives.
part eagle.
Yeah,
and
griffins are part eagle,
eagles are
part
carnivorous.
lion. Is it?
Lion and eagle, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of those are carnivorous.
So maybe they. What do they do?
That's probably why we've never seen one eating anything in the show.
Did
No, they ate stuff. Pinkie Pie baked some stuff in the Griffin.
Nasty ass
Griffin
fucking
Isles
crunchy
episode or whatever? Yeah.
cookie
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, in that case, we're just going to take cookies as just sentient
Cookies.
person food.
Cookies work for
Sentient
everyone.
cookies, oh god.
Remember, equines are opportunistic carnivores.
Yeah.
All right.
You swing
I
that
think
one.
I think we're good. I think that's it.
That's a
Yeah,
wrap,
you got to
folks.
stop recording at
Alrighty.
some point because
Yeah.
it's like your
That's
hard
all,
drive's
folks.
gonna fucking be full of just our wittering.
Everybody has to say
That's all,
goodbye.
folks.
Yeah.
Oh
Thanks.
yeah, we have to say goodbye.
Thanks for everyone for joining in and helping us with that. Do we just click stop recording, or does everyone want to say?
Say thank you for listening, people who may or may not actually be listening to this. I don't know.
Yeah, thank
You
you
know,
for
we got
this
listening.
far,
The
you
3
get a
people
medal.
who would listen to this in like the next 3 years or
This
something.
has this was
You're
this was as
awesome.
soon as I
Three people who listen
expected.
to this, you're awesome.
Yeah, you guys listening to this, you're awesome. You're helping support my dreams. This is of becoming my full-time career.
This is your full-time career.
Thank you,
job.
Squeaky Bell, for listening for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
thank
thanks.
you.
Thank you, Hydra. Thank you, whoever came along and also isn't here now. 'cause
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
quite
Thanks
a
for
few
Borg
people
for
who are
showing
just
up
like,
and
"Nah,
making
fuck
this
this."
interesting.
Crafty's
It'll
been here
be-
for a decent while. He's been pretty faithful.
Crafty's been here the whole time.
I'm pretty sure
It'll be
he's just
uploaded
gone to
somewhere.
make some dinner or something. Like, is he even still here? Like,
Where's this? This is getting uploaded, right?
Oh
Where?
yeah, it'll be uploaded
Somewhere.
somewhere. I'll
Yeah.
let people
YouTube.
know.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Over the
EQD
rainbow.
will let people know, I'm sure. If
Yeah.
they don't, we'll sue them.
With a
Hey
nice at
guys, we
everyone.
committed a war crime. Listen here.
Oh god, not another everyone.
Borg is in
Everyone.
here. He'll make sure it goes up.
Yeah,
Uh,
it goes on the
We'll
EQD
extort-
blog main page. I want its own post.
I want to
We're
be the
extorting
header.
the blog, but we actually work for the blog, so we're extorting ourselves.
In a way, we
Quality.
played ourselves.
Hashtag free ad.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
I'll cut the recording there then.